At this rate, we've seen this fight with Brandon Langley and the United Airlines employee. Well, I know it's an airline employee. He's standing in front of United Airlines. I believe it's a United Airlines employee. Brandon Langley beats the crap out of this guy. Beats him up. Terrible, terrible stuff. But what's kind of interesting to me is that Mr. Alec Baldwin is so vocal. So vocal about this. Why are you talking? Let's just read what he said. He goes, "The guy working at the airport is the victim. He came to work to do a job. The other guy with his big mouth, big mouth, is guilty of workplace abuse, where people come to work with an expectation of safety, even civility. This a-hole," I think he said a-hole, "who hit this guy should be put on a no-fly list." Big mouth. So here's the thing. It's really the fact that Mr. Alec Baldwin might be experiencing delusions of grandeur. Why would I say this? Why would I say he's experiencing delusions of grandeur? Let's remember back in the fall, he shot and killed a coworker on a film set. Mistake, but the person is still dead. He did kill the person. And let's remember, I think it was like a month later, Mr. Alec Baldwin was doing this press tour. He was, not a press tour, but he did this interview, exclusive interview. I was like, why is he talking so quickly? He has a very strong PR team, but doesn't look like they were working here. I think in his brain, he got a little delusional and thinks that he is the spokesperson for workplace safety. Maybe he has a nonprofit organization. I don't know. I'm just guessing that caters to that sort of thing because of the unfortunate incident that he put himself in, or it's not him, even though it was his film. He was a producer on the film, but that he was put in, unfortunately, killing a woman. But Mr. Alec Baldwin, you have to see this from the way the public looks at this, right? Whatever the case, you killed this woman. She's dead. Her parents don't know the difference between her being murdered and her being shot by mistake on set. I don't know which one is worse. Their daughter is dead. You were holding the gun. Why are you talking? Their daughter is dead. You were holding the gun. So the outcome is you killed someone. And you're coming up here to be the spokesperson of work time safety or workplace safety. You're not the person. Be silent. And I don't understand when actors started feeling that they needed to be vocal on social media. Like, I get it when it's influencers talking, it's fine. When it's like a TV show host talking, it's fine. But as an actor, you guys are normally meant to be silent for two reasons. The first reason is because you actually have to get hired on sets. But I get it. Mr. Alec Baldwin, you're a big shot. You're a top dog. You make your own sets. That's fine. But the other reason is that you can maintain the lovability of your brand so that when your audience come and see you on the big screen, they don't get confused about or distracted by your personal life and your art. So actors normally are silent. I like it when actors are silent. Why is this man feeling that he has some sort of position to even speak on this subject matter? I would call it one thing, the caucasity. The caucasity. And this is this phenomenon where white people abuse their social power. Now, another thing I wanted to point out is the fact that Mr. Alec Baldwin, man, Mr. Alec Baldwin is just kind of representing how white people just love to scold, to ridicule, to punish black people that have done even the most minuscule thing. They're just so ready. It's their conditioning, historically, presently, the way that America is set up, the way America runs today. They're always waiting to scold a black person, to frown on a black person. So this black boy attacking this airline, airline employee, and you're ready to scold him. And then you neglect the fact that you killed someone. That's caucasity. You know, we didn't see him vocalizing his distaste and anger when, you know, the white boy shot up a grocery store. Was that like just over a week ago? We didn't hear anything from Alec Baldwin. He wasn't talking. But now, you want to be vocal. You want to give your opinion. Stop. Don't give your opinion. We don't want to hear it. We don't want to hear it. And go look in the mirror. But that's like the obvious thing to say. Go look in the mirror, right? That's the obvious thing to say. So, that's one way to look at it. Let's watch this fight, because this is a whole mess. Let's watch this fight. TMZ posted it. Thank you, TMZ. Ooh, we are not playing a TMZ ad. Oh, hell no. Oh, hell no. They're not paying me for this. Oh, hell no. Skip ad. All right, let's watch this fight. Look at that. I don't want to show the whole fight because I don't want to get my video taken down. But I just want to be objective, right? Because when you look at how the news reported this, it's easy for, you know, different news organizations are reporting this differently. I think about ABC News, and they tried to be as objective. They didn't give any critiques on their thoughts or anything. However, they just talked about how it was a terrible situation that took place and that transpired and blah, blah, blah. But however, the footage that they did show was Mr. Brendan attacking this airline person. They never showed the footage of the airline person attacking back. So, guys, come on. You're obviously pushing a subtle narrative here. That's one way to look at it. But the other way to look at it is the fact that, very simply, we can see from this fight that Mr. Brandon has the upper hand. Oof, wow, this is aggressive. He has the upper hand. And from this fight, we can see that Mr. Brandon started, well, I mean, it looks like he started the fight. There's no evidence to disprove this yet, right? We don't know what the evidence is. So we don't know if Brandon started the fight or if this airline hosted person started the fight. But from the footage, from the evidence that has been presented to us, it looks like Brandon started the fight. And it's clear that Brandon is the aggressor, the more dominant fighter in this situation. And of course, he's an NFL player. He should be. He's not even like physically big, you know, for an NFL player. He's like pretty lean. I wouldn't say skinny, but he's lean for an NFL player. But it's kind of crazy to me that I get the way ABC is reporting it. You could say they're being fair because, hey, at the end of the day, we do see Brendan fighting more than we see the airline host. Now, I have an issue with how Hollywood Unlocked reported it. And here's my issue with Hollywood Unlocked. You lied about the Queen's death. You gave us fake news. There was something else that they gave us fake news about. And I'm like, why are you guys... you can't be trusted anymore. So they say black man arrested after defending himself against United Airlines employee attack. Look at the language. I get it, Jason Lee has been hanging out with Kanye. They're all about control the narrative. We get that. So he's pushing this narrative that he's pushing this narrative that this he's pushing the narrative that it was the black man that was being attacked. But in the footage, we can clearly see who was the aggressor. I won't say initiator because there's no evidence of who initiated the fight. All we can see from the video is that it was most likely Brandon. So saying this, I guess you can conflate it and make this make sense, but it's just not reliable. And it pushes the narrative it triggers black men this narrative of black men go get arrested and go to jail. It's triggering. And that's exactly what Hollywood Unlocked is aiming to do. They're aiming to trigger us. They're aiming to get black people to rally behind Mr. Brandon. But I really, truly believe in accountability. We must be accountable as black people. And so I'm not going to jump to support someone that I could clearly see is being aggressive. Like I said, Alec Baldwin has some strong points, but we're shooting the messenger here. We don't want to hear it from you. Be silent, Mr. Alec Baldwin. But since I'm black, let me give my 2 cents. And even if you're not black, you can still give your 2 cents. But we're watching you. Okay, so I'm just trying to understand. Okay, so this narrative is pushed. This guy has been, is going to jail, whatever. Hollywood Unlocked posted another video. Let me find it. Oh no, I hope there's no sound. Yeah, there's probably sound there, but they posted another one, and it said, that the man was fired from his job. I want people to understand the difference between getting arrested and getting fired, right? Some people will say, well, they were fighting each other. Both of them should be arrested. The evidence shows that Brandon was the aggressor. So when it comes to Brandon, I'm saying accountability. You beat this guy up to the point where he's bleeding. We can see the footage of this man bleeding. There is blood. You knock him to the ground. You're an athlete. You have the power, and you knock him, and you abuse that power, and you knock him to the ground. And you think you're not going to go to jail? You fight someone in an airport of all places. Like, go fight on the street, but you fight in an airport? And you think you're not going to go to jail? Like, come on. And let's understand that it was the evidence. There's not enough evidence, I don't think, to put this other man in jail, the airline employee. There's not enough evidence. But let me tell you, there's a difference between breaking the law and breaking your company's code of conduct. You see, when Brandon, we can watch the video and we can see Brandon, he first hits him a few times. And then finally the airline attendant slaps him back. And Brandon is kind of like, you saw that, right? You saw that, right? I'm like, what are you even talking about? I saw you knock this guy down a few times. In fact, I have so much respect for this guy. I have so much respect for this guy for not giving up, for not quitting, for fighting an NFL player. Oh, Jesus, this is brutal. He fought you. He still got up and he was ready to fight. He ain't no punk. He is no punk. Boom, he got his fight. Right. So you saying, oh my God, did you see that? Did you see that? Oh my God. That's only going to get him fired. That's not going to get him in jail. Because he's breaking his company's code of conduct, but he's not breaking any laws. He's defending himself. Now you, who's attacking a human being, it's battery. It's battery. And that's the accountability that I want from black people. As a black person, if you get into a fight with someone and they decide to press charges, you're going to jail. So why fight? Why physically fight anyone? Why even do that? Never get into a physical fight. There's no reason to even get into a physical fight. It should just remain verbal. Now, I don't know what the guy said to him. I don't care what the guy said to him. If he said something offensive, film it, put it on social media. United Airlines will lose a lot of money. We have to be smarter about these things. If he said racial slurs to you, if he said something offensive, if he was racist, film it, put it online, right? And that's how you attack. That's how you get him fired. That's how you ruin his life. And you go untouched. Now, but instead, you decide you're going to punch him because he disrespected you and hurt your ego. So you decide you're going to punch him. It's just ridiculous. That's why you're going to go to jail. I just want accountability. Can we have that? Accountability. And ultimately, yes, Alec Baldwin had some points. We don't want to hear it from you. Be quiet. But I want accountability from Black people. Don't get into public fights. Don't even get into fights. There's no reason for you to ever want to punch someone. And this young man, Mr. Brendan, only 27 years old. 27 years. He's young. And I mean, he might have ended his career. Who knows? Who knows? Is it worth it? Just because he got upset in the airport? Very handsome guy, too. Potentially has lost his career because he got angry for 2 seconds. Guys, we just have to think long term. We have to think wiser. We have to think smarter. Work smart, right? Anyway, those are my 2 cents. Let me know your thoughts. Leave a comment down below. Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, all the above. My name is Kenim, and see you next time. A peace.